Hello everyone, welcome back to another video in which today I'll be seeing the scenario in which Spain forms an empire. So until now I've done Italy, France and Germany, and now it's Spain's turn. Next time I think it'll be Britain. I just want to say that I'm probably not going to make another alternate future of an alternate world video unless people actually show support on it, because they've flunked. It got 20 views and all the rest of my videos have around the range of like 200. So yeah, I'm not gonna make any of those unless there's anything else. So as usual, completely unrealistic video inspired by Adizzpro, and let's just hop in. So I'm gonna make the first war which Spain faces be against Portugal and Andorra. So Portugal and Andorra. Now, if this were realistic, everyone in NATO would declare war on Spain, but this isn't, so just pretend that this is normal. So let's see how this war would unravel and unfold and go, and I'm trying to find new words for the transitions. Well, let's see how this war would go. I'll try and think of more words. So I think the people of Andorra are gonna fall immediately. Like, they have some natural defense in the Pyrenees, but it's just not enough to stop the Spanish army. And the Portuguese might lay like a couple of successful small offensives, but it definitely won't be enough to take down the Spanish, as the Spanish push into the south using their main armies, and eventually just encircle this like entire Portuguese army division and get it to surrender. So this army surrenders. They also secure naval dominance down to Lisbon, and they land in Lisbon, capture Lisbon, and Portugal surrenders. So let's see how the peace treaty would look like. Whoa, Spain annexed everything. So Spain got really mad and just decided to annex everything. And now Spain and France ally like they did before. So now it's a Spain and France allying to face Britain. So this is a traditional enemy of the Spanish and the French. So Britain keeps on poking their heads into Spain's business. They want the region around Gibraltar, and France is just mad at Britain for some reason. So yeah, they're now at war, and let's see how this war would go. Okay, so Britain's now just poking and prodding at everyone. They're just doing they have naval dominance in this region, and they're just sinking ships around here. They're just doing annoying stuff. They're doing British stuff, but I mean, yeah, what do you expect? And then the British attempt multiple landings. That's the wrong color. Okay. The British attempt multiple landings, but the French army is too strong for them. So they land in Calais, they land in Normandy, they land in Brittany, but all of them fail. So they end up, the Spanish end up just like moving their troops over to assist the French, and it's just a constant power struggle. Britain landing there, landing on next to Bordeaux now, landing at the tip of Brittany, and this one actually goes pretty successfully until it doesn't and it fails. So yeah, they just signed a peace treaty. They just signed a white peace. There's realistically saying there's no way both of them can touch each other. So yeah, let's see how this let's see what the next war would be, because yeah. Okay, so Spain has gotten really mad now. It's lost their ally with France. It's lost. It had to sign a white peace with Britain. So now it's very mad. So now it just decides to declare war on like every African country on the west coast of Africa, because it just feels like it's mad. So yeah, every country down to Liberia is now at war with Spain. Let's see how this war would go. Okay, so let's be honest right now. These countries aren't very rich. They aren't very strong. So Spain will sweep over them. Morocco will pull up some resistance. So it'll capture like that land, it'll push a bit into Iberia, but that's basically all Morocco will do before it just gets pushed back, and then gets pushed back even more past that like province. So yeah, Spain just snatches the entire coast from it, because why not? Like the entire northern coast of the Mediterranean, and then it just like slithers down the coast because it wants to just be really annoying, and it wants to steal all of Morocco's money and leave it with only desert. So Spain right now is greedy, it's stingy, it's yeah. So yeah, the Spain's government, it wants to steal all of Morocco's money, and it wants to do that with every African country. So it just slithers down the west coast of Africa. It doesn't even bother to push into the rest of the countries, but most of them surrender. So Morocco surrenders, not these countries yet. And Western Sahara just stays in because, I mean, they realize that Spain has no intentions of actually bringing them down. All they want is their coast. So yeah, that's what Spain has done. But eventually, okay, never mind. That won't work out for me. So yeah, Spain just continues going down and down the coast, making all of the money, like the most money it possibly can. Like it's getting rich right now. It's almost to the point like when they were colonizing, when they were very, very rich. Like they were so rich that they had 50 trillion tons of inflation. So yeah, there were a bunch of dollars in inflation, and yeah, that's what Spain's doing right now, stealing all these countries' economies. Mind you, their economies are not very strong, but it's definitely doing a lot against them. So yeah, these countries just surrender after they realize that Spain has basically just stolen all the coast from them. Now let's take a look at the peace treaty, because Spain is gonna want to snatch as much as it can. So this is what the peace treaty would look like. It would basically snatch the important parts of Morocco and leave it with a desolate, hot desert. Same with Western Sahara, and they take a bit of Mauritania. Like they can't push too much because that would be too much snatched from them from that war, but it would still count as a lot. And then they finally managed to threaten Britain into giving them Gibraltar. So now they finally have Gibraltar without having to go to war with the British again. So the Spanish are happy right now. They're pleasant. They're enjoying it, but they're not enjoying it when. So now they're blue because they're defending. They're not enjoying it when America, the good old liberty country, declares war on them. Now, a couple of European countries see this as stingy, and America just trying to get a foothold in Europe. So France, even Britain, who was at war with France and Spain, and Ireland, and even Italy, and Switzerland, who has been neutral, and the Benelux. So basically all of Western Europe. They joined the war against the Americans because they find that the Americans are getting too greedy. They're getting too they're rubbing their coffers too much. So yeah, they at the moment they're at that position. And also Spain's really buffed, so just spoiler alert, Spain's gonna win the war, but it's gonna be hard. Okay, let's see. Okay, so right now Spain is stronger than France. In reality it isn't, but at this timeline it is. So the US right now is aiming to land somewhere in France, and they land exactly where the British did when they had success in Brittany. And I mean, they have a bit of success, but it's definitely not enough to push into most of France, probably because there's a bunch of reinforcements from all of the coalitions. But Spain, being the strongest now, lands in its former colony, Cuba. Not Cuba, Florida. And this one goes a bit more successfully because Americans thought that the Europeans would never be able to land in their place. So they didn't have a ton of garrisons. So they managed to push well out of Florida before the offensive gets stopped. And the Americans launched another invasion into northern Spain, another into Ireland, and one more into Spanish Africa. But all of them don't get too far, and all of them get repulsed within a couple of weeks, I'd say. So all of them get repulsed by the European forces. Now the French send reinforcements to Florida, and the British land in Maine. So the British are in Maine, and now the British and Irish and a couple of French push down from Maine, and the Spanish, Italians, and a couple more French push up from Florida, and the Americans realize that they have lost the war against the Europeans, and they surrender. Don't worry about Alaska, I'll color that in later. So let's see what the peace treaty would look like. Okay, so this is what the peace treaty would look like. Spain would look like this after all the wars. It would get its dominion in Florida. This right here next to it is a French dominion, and that right there is a British dominion. America would sure be mad, but sadly for America, that's the end of the video, and I'm not going to record anymore. So, yeah, hope you have a good day, and see you in our next video. Goodbye.